How do you make sure you get the best results and free traffic from Google for your MSP? I'm going to walk you guys through the exact process that you need to follow using my own site. We're going to do it in real time so you can see what to do and follow along at your office, at home. That way there's no surprises. Hey, he's hiding something. None of that. You're going to be able to take from point A to point Z and fix all of the problems to get the best success on Google. And especially because this is completely free. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, marketing, or business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention one quick thing. As always, down in the video description, there is a ton of links. We have been updating those links and changing them out. Some of those links are your favorite videos that people say these are some of the best videos that you've made. And if you think another video should be down there, let us know in the comments. I would love to swap them out if you guys think this is the video that had the biggest impact on my success. Otherwise, if you want some free resources, go over to growth-generators.com/resources. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, because a lot of MSPs are focusing on SEO, and they either don't want to go out and, find new clients. They don't want to pick up the phone and cold call. They're not generating leads. There's a whole variety of different things. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization, and that is making your website look as good and appealing as possible to Google, right? Google's the majority of the internet traffic out there. And the more people that visit your website, it just comes down to a conversion rate, right? In the last video, I talked about websites and landing pages, but we want to get as many people to our website as possible. Even if your website isn't earth-shatteringly nice, it doesn't matter. But traffic is still traffic, and there's always going to be a percentage of those people that reach out or convert. That's the key tip when it comes to search engine optimization. The other nice part about it is I tell people it's something you can do off the clock, right? From 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m. is sales activities, especially for those newer MSPs. You can do sales all during that time. Obviously, if you're on the East or the West Coast, you might want to change that around a little bit, or if you're doing business across the country, adjusting your hours. But for the most part, right, from 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m., you could be making sales calls, going on site, prospecting, all of that, and picking up the phone and actually speaking to people. SEO, search engine optimization, is what I like to call an after-hours activity. Now, you can 100% do this in the middle of the day as well. There's no restrictions on that. But the work can be done whenever you want, ultimately, and the results are going to take a little bit of time to show up. Now, one thing I want to make sure I get out before I go too deep into this video: if you're focusing on search engine optimization, there have been a ton of different changes in the industry. I have been doing SEO now for the better part of like 7 years. You have to make sure that, one, you don't expect the changes to happen overnight. There is a 3 to 9 month lagging metric on search engine optimization. So that means the updates you make on your website, the content that you're going to add to your website, is going to take a while for it to get to its fullest potential. So whatever you decide to do today, even if you're a crazy person and you want to work all night long to get as much done as possible, you might not see results for several months. Now, the second part of my statement is AI has changed everything. I know you guys are using AI to write articles. It's fantastic. It's honestly a great idea. First, don't boil the ocean. If you're going to use AI, use it in spurts to build the content, right? And two, Google understands that everyone's using AI. You need to inject your thoughts, your opinions, your success into the content. Otherwise, it's never going to work. Google wants to see new and original content. They have now admitted and agreed that, yeah, you're going to use AI to write content, but it's your thoughts, your perspective that is going to take mediocre content and make it amazing. So don't just go through and willy-nilly go create content in tons of pieces on Google. It could very well, even though it might work in the short term, it's not a good long-term strategy, and Google can hit the hammer pretty hard and crush your traffic. So let's talk about SEO now, because I wanted to get that out of the way. I know that I'm going to be mentioning blogging and that kind of thing, and I'm going to use my own website. Now, I'm in a great spot because I actually have issues on my website, and we are well aware of those. We're in the process of rebuilding it. It takes a long time to build a website, especially super thoroughly, right? Months and planning the content and what we want our visitors to see. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to go through with you the basic process to show you all of the red flags that you can start addressing on your website today, right after this video, preferably after you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell. So let's jump into my computer here and I'll show you guys what I am talking about. So we have growth-generators.com, obviously your hub for MSPs, and we're going through a redesign, right? I like our design, I like our messaging, but it could be much better. So we're going through that process now, right? And there's areas of the website now that things have changed and we've grown and adjusted, right? We're not even really dealing with small businesses anymore. It's only MSPs, right? So things are changing and our website has to reflect that, which is really, really cool and important. And we could use the exact same layout, but I kind of want to freshen it up a little bit there. But the first tool that you're going to use is a tool called Ubersuggest. Now, Ubersuggest, and I'm going to just open it up here in a new window. Ubersuggest is a great tool when it comes to actually getting good information. Now, it's written and made by or owned by a gentleman named Neil Patel, and he is truly fantastic when it comes to this industry. And the reason why I'm mentioning Ubersuggest is because it's free, and you can sign up for a 7-day trial if you want. It's fairly cheap. Now, if you are somebody that likes to go more premium, there's 2 websites I would recommend. The first one is going to be SEMrush, and I'm going to throw that on my screen here really quick. And the second one is going to be Ahrefs. And they both do, for the most part, the same thing. Don't tell either company I said that, but they, for the most part, really do the same thing, right? Measurable results, online marketing, right? You can enter your domain, see what's going on. They are fairly expensive. They don't really even have like a free version, whereas Ahrefs, same kind of thing, right? Everything you need to rank higher on Google. Now, these are tremendously important. I would highly recommend using both of them. But the real key to this is being able to get good data, right? If we want to be good MSP people, we need good data. We make data-driven decisions. Data is a massive part of our day-to-day. So in Ubersuggest, you're going to be able to see all of this. And if you've watched my videos about how to spy on your competitors, I'd highly recommend going and looking for that video on our channel, Growth Generators. But more importantly, I've already done a site audit. Now, this site audit happened, I don't know, as of today, 2 days ago, but by the time you see this, it might be a few days in the future. And I'm okay with the problems that I have because I know that we're redoing this, right? And problems typically, weirdly, self-generate over time, right? There's going to be issues, things are going to change, best practices are going to be modified, right? And when you have a lot of people working on a website, it's not always best practices being followed. For example, there's about 4 or 5 people that work on my website regularly, and I have to check it all. So going through and checking all that does take time, and people make mistakes, and that's to be expected. So on the next revision of the website, when we launch it in a few months, we know that we have to address all of these issues. And some of these issues are important, and some of them aren't important. So I want to go over your on-page SEO score. This is what Google is ranking. Now, 100 is as high as it gets. Most businesses really get about an 80-ish. So at a 70 or 69, that's a pretty good number. Now, there are the few that get up to close to 100. It's pretty rare. Organic monthly traffic, right? 310. We have done a ton of stuff to our website. We've nuked our website several times. We've completely rebuilt it. We've changed quite a bit. We've changed platforms quite a few times. So we're constantly monitoring that. Next is going to be organic keywords. So we're ranking for what this believes is 501 keywords. Now, I know, based on my search results on Google Search Console, we're ranking for well over 1,000 keywords, but this is what it's pulling. And these are all best guesses. Keep in mind that Google does not share any of their information. Ubersuggest, Ahrefs, SEMrush, every single one of these companies is using a best guess. That's what they're doing. So there's no super right, super wrong. They are running experiments in the background. They own tons of websites and they see our data, right? And then they make the best guess. By no means is this any bit accurate, right? The traffic that we get on our website is way more than what they're predicting, right? The keywords that we rank for is way more than what it's showing us, but it's a decent metric to look at. That's what it is. So I want to make sure that nobody takes this to heart. This is not concrete data. The only way to get the most concrete data is either Google Search Console and Google Analytics or putting something on your website that'll show all traffic. Because once again, Google Search Console and Google Analytics are only going to show traffic from Google. It's not going to show from Bing, Safari, anything like that, which is important to understand. After that, it's going to give us all of the SEO issues and how many pages, right? So we have 423 pages, 345 of those are successful, and there's a couple pages that are blocked, whether they're forum pages, things that just shouldn't be indexed or wouldn't be valuable being indexed, and then the SEO issues. Once again, we have site speed, right? We want to make sure that we're in the green for the most part, right? Needs improvement. That's okay, right? We're just about there. I'm not too worried. And then you see the interactivity and then visual stability across the board. Now, we built our platform or website on Wix. I truly love Wix. Doesn't matter what platform you use. You can modify it, adjust it on every single platform. But the real thing is that I want to draw your attention to is these SEO issues discovered. And it's going to show 500 of them, right? And that might sound like an earth-shattering number. And in some cases, it could be. And what I want to do is start going through top to bottom and start to address all of these SEO issues. Now, we usually have significantly less, but I've stopped worrying about the existing website and I'm working on the new website, which is going to take some time. So I'm not addressing these issues and we're still producing a ton of content. So I know that we're adding more and more content to this. But your best advice that I could possibly give you is there's a difficulty, right, on each of these and there's an SEO impact. You want to address the high, then medium, then low, just like you would in your ticketing system, right? And go through each one of these step by step. So 12 pages have duplicate meta descriptions. I could look at this, right? At growth generators, right? So growth generators resources versus free resources. So this is telling me, hey, I had a free resources page. We don't actually use it anymore. That's a good telltale sign that if I delete that, that's one problem completely gone, right? Welcome to growth generators. So services, web design, and backlinks. We just need to modify the meta descriptions on all of those pages, right? 6-week bootcamp, MSP bootcamp, and then MSP bootcamp page, right? This is an A/B test. I don't need to necessarily worry about that area. And then our additional pages, and these are all coming from Go High Level. I could just tell Google or Ubersuggest, I don't want you to index those pages. They're not built to drive traffic to. They're built to drive traffic to if I'm sending the traffic, right? Whether that is through YouTube links, through at the bottom of blog articles, scattered throughout the website. But I don't want Google to say, hey, we have this nice site over here. Go look at that. That might be something that I, as the SEO expert, can say, hey, remove that. So out of all those issues, right, it might say 500 issues. Out of all these 12 pages of issues, there's really not that many issues on here. It's going to take me the better part of 5 minutes to address them, if I even choose to address them, right? 20 pages with duplicate title tags, right? How much does it cost to start an MSP, right? And there was a duplicate content in there, and I just have to either go delete it, or it's remembering an old page, or it sees an old page on my website, and going through and removing that. We did migrate from another platform to this platform, so that's more than likely the issue, right? And same thing here. So avoid in 2020, avoid in 2024. So just going through, modifying, and addressing all of these issues is the best first place to start when it comes to doing search engine optimization. We want to make sure that we are as good as possible on our digital footprint, making sure that, hey, we're not being sloppy. We're not going through, right? And I've seen websites that get thousands and thousands of visitors a month with thousands of issues. This is not the end all be all, but this is a best practices. And in most cases, there is a ROI for doing this effort and going through one by one by one by one. But the thing that I want you to focus on more than just addressing these issues, and like I said in the beginning, one is hitting that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I see you guys. But really, two, creating content. I cannot tell you how many times you guys are like, look at my website, I'm working on SEO, and it's what I would consider thin. It doesn't have that much content on the website itself, right? You might have a blog with a handful of blogs on there. And if we say, hey, you have 10 blog posts at 1,000 words a piece, right? And maybe you have 4 or 5 pages on your website. Most pages on a website, your core pages, only have between 200 and 500 to 600 words. That's the medium, right? So if we go to make numbers easy, let's just say we have 2,000 words on the website and we have 10 1,000 word blog posts. That's 12,000 words. That's not that much content for Google to sink their teeth into to show you in the search results. So we have to take a step back and start working on creating more and more content, whether that's videos, blog posts, or podcasts, whatever format you decide to create content in. That's going to be how you succeed. Our website has hundreds of blog posts, most of which are a minimum of 1,000 words. One of my blog posts that I wrote, it took me the better part of like 18 hours to write it. And I'm working on 2 more that are gigantic articles. And they're some of my most successful articles and best well-written articles. And if you're not a writer, don't worry. I'm not either. I almost failed English back in the day. But with Grammarly and with AI and being able to write that and reorganize and reframe your thoughts correctly, you can be a great writer out there. One of my blog posts is like 6,000 to 8,000 words. I can't remember the exact number. So one of my blogs has more content than most MSP websites have out there. Hopefully, I'm starting to show you and you're able to see the gap in content. And it's not something you're going to do every single day. If you can make an effort to grow every single week and work on one blog post that you absolutely think is amazing, in the short span of 1 year, one blog post per week, 52 weeks in a year, simple math, 52 blog posts, you are light years ahead of your competition, because I can almost guarantee they're not blogging, they're not creating content, and if they are, it's what I would consider thin. There's nothing to sink their teeth into to ultimately grow. So that is how you can go through and perform, I would say, more advanced SEO for sure, because it's not just, hey, let me make sure that there's a title and meta description there, but it's also taking it to the next level and building on and adding content. And there's a ton of different tools in here. I'm going to be making more content in the future, and we're coming out with an MSP marketing course later this year in MSP Heroes. And if you're interested in MSP Heroes, shameless plug, under our programs, MSP Heroes, it's our all-inclusive membership. It includes all of our programs, office hours, and so much more. But you could go through and do a site audit. You can do rank tracking. If you do decide to buy it, currently at the time of recording this, there is a lifetime deal. I get no extra money. I get nothing from them. But it is a way to buy something and have it forever, right? You can do an individual. It's $300. You own it for life. And it does a really, really good job. We're on the enterprise version of it. But you could go through and go and see like a site audit, SEO opportunities, keyword research, traffic estimation, backlinks. There are so many opportunities for you to succeed. This is one of what I would consider the more basic programs. You can get into SEMrush and Ahrefs that are like the big leagues, but for most smaller MSPs that are not focusing 100% of their attention or have somebody only working on SEO, these are great opportunities for you to start making headway in the industry. And if you do it, I can almost guarantee you your competitors aren't. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit of marketing material. There's going to be more marketing material coming and marketing training coming for you guys, but make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.